All right, guys. We're seeing a nice recovery today in Bitcoin. I made a video yesterday. We were at like $53,000 Bitcoin. Went down to 49. Yesterday we're at 43. Now we're pushing 57. Or excuse me, 53. Now we're pushing 57. It looks like we're getting a nice recovery. Is this a dead cat bounce? I have no freaking idea. It could be, but I feel like if this was a dead cat bounce, we'd probably be dumping by now. I feel like we're trying to make our way back up to $60,000. If you're looking at the traditional markets, stocks were up 500 points. They closed just now 300 points higher to snap a 3-day losing run in broad relief rally. So, could we dump tomorrow? Could this have just been like a dead cat bounce? It's very possible, but I also saw that the Japanese stock market was pumping a little bit today. Actually, I think yesterday was the worst day in history for the Japanese stock market, and then today was like one of the best days. So we're seeing an all-out recovery in every aspect. The question is, will it last? I don't know. I think it will. We were talking about recession yesterday, possible recession fears. Everything looking right now looks like we probably are going to come out of this in one piece. I see the Japanese regulators are holding meetings. And the positive on all this, we've been talking about for the last year, there's no way there's going to be a rate cut. It's just not going to happen. The economy in shambles, inflation, all that stuff. Because of this blip yesterday in the markets, it does look like we're probably going to get a rate cut now. I feel like this whole little dump yesterday kind of sealed the deal. You're even starting to see articles. Markets are counting on the Fed to head off recession fears with sizable interest rate cut. In the market's eyes, the Fed finds itself either poised to head off recession or doomed to repeat the mistakes of its recent past. There's no question now we're doing a rate cut. I was adamant the last year and a half, no rate cut. But because of what happened yesterday, it's going to happen. What does that mean? If that does happen, that's going to be all out, good for the markets, good for Bitcoin. And as soon as we get that rate cut, as soon as it's announced, you're going to see Bitcoin guaranteed go minimally back to $73,000. And I believe the next Fed meeting is either end of this month or the beginning of September. So, it's so funny. Like yesterday, everybody's miserable. Everybody's depressed. Everybody wants to kill themselves. And now today, everybody's happy again. It really is weird. I mean, Bitcoin making its way back up. All your altcoins, some of these altcoins today are up 50, 60%, some of these small caps. A lot of these bigger cap coins, if you look, Ethereum, 5%, but if you get on the list, 11% for some, 7%, 8%. I saw Litecoin was up 12%, Pepe up 10%. So things are coming back. Will it hold? I don't know, but it's extremely positive that we've been pumping all day today. And things seem to be holding for now. Okay, so what else is going on? Let's see. Newsbound, Kamala Harris announced her VP pick. Radical left progressive. Here's an article during the BLM riots while Minneapolis. He's the mayor of Minneapolis, this guy, Tim Watts. During the BLM riots where the whole city was burned down, his wife is talking about how opening her windows, how she could smell the burning tires, and she loved it. So you're looking at basically pure evil. And I think this pretty much sealed the deal for Kamala Harris that there's no way she can win with picking somebody that's radical. And there's a lot more dirt coming out as well. Why am I bringing it up? I know people hate when I get political because you have to understand Trump winning the election means you make a lot of money in crypto. Democrats win, you don't make any money. Democrat is the loser party in general. But if Democrats win the election, you don't make any money in crypto. And this VP pick, to me, is just good news for Trump. So that's looking very good. Bitcoin analyst sees seller exhaustion as Bitcoin price rebounds. It does look like that bottom was 49,000 looked like it was the bottom. Thank God. I could see us retesting 49, maybe going back down to 50. Who knows? But the way Bitcoin's going right now, it looks like it wants to go back up to $60,000. And once we get back up to $60,000 Bitcoin, the altcoins are going to follow in droves. Let's hear what old Rand has to say.
Story short, I think that yesterday we cemented the rate cut because up until yesterday, Powell could have relied on data, and he could have said, look, remember there are inflation numbers which are coming out on the 14th of August, which is next week. And Powell could have come out, up until yesterday, Powell could have come out, and you know what he could have said? He could have said, the inflation numbers are bad, and we're not actually going to reduce interest rates. But yesterday, and what happened yesterday, I think it would be negligent of the Fed not to actually start reducing rates. And as you can see, the market's predicting more sober than yesterday, a 74.5% chance of a double rate cut.
So yeah, now everybody's predicting a rate cut. It looks like it's going to happen. It can't happen because if they don't do a rate cut now, like say they announce no rate cut next month, and then we dump again, the Fed's going to be held 100% accountable. So at this point, even if they don't want to do a rate cut, they have to do a rate cut. So positive for the markets. I mean, now things are looking more bullish than ever, to be honest with you. All right, what else? I haven't covered Bitboy in a while. I have not been covering Bitboy in like 6 months, probably since Christmas. I got bored with him. Ever since he left his wife, cheated on his wife, left his wife for that hooker girl, and he had that whole thing where he tried to get his Lamborghini back. We covered that live as it was happening. It was good fun. And I just lost interest in the guy. But I always said eventually he's going to be up on SEC charges, and eventually he's probably going to end up in jail. Well, just the other day, and I totally missed this story. I just kind of like found it wandering around the internet. Yeah, I just found this randomly because I have not been looking at Bitcoin stuff. It was on one of these Bitcoin cryptocurrency websites. The CFTC subpoenas Bitboy Armstrong's former company in fraud investigation, asks about activity for tokens such as Ben. The weirdest thing, this whole Ben token, we made a video about it. You can find my video. Well, everything's collapsing. And like Sam Bankman-Fried's getting up on charges. All these other guys like Do Kwon, they're all going to jail. Everybody's getting up on charges. At that exact moment, Ben Armstrong decides to be involved in a scam project called Bencoin. The guy is just born to lose. And I've always said it with Ben Armstrong. No matter how much money he makes, he's always going to end up broke. It's great now. He has that little hooker in his life, but she's going to get sick of him after 2 years. And then he's going to be all alone. His wife has moved on, and he's just going to be some fat crackhead on the side of the road. Well, here it is. He's now being actively investigated for fraud. And the CFTC has issued subpoena to Hit Network, which is where he was working, I believe, when he was promoting it. The company that previously had Bitboy Armstrong as its host. It asked for information on activity related to 15 tokens. So not just Bencoin, 15 other tokens that he was promoting. And if you remember, the SEC sent Ben Armstrong about 2 years ago a cease and assist letter. And Ben Armstrong immediately goes online and starts mocking it. You got to be pretty stupid to do that. You got to be dumber than dirt. So Armstrong has featured the other 14 tokens in YouTube videos, predominantly prior to Hit Network's formation, recommending them as potential buys. Of course, these were tokens that during the previous bull market, they would pay Ben Armstrong to talk about. He made so much money promoting these scams. And many of these videos, he actually deleted down the line when the projects turned out to be scams. We covered it all on this channel. You can find my videos. The agency has issued a subpoena on July 16th to Hit Network, the crypto-focused media company that previously had Ben Armstrong, known as Bitboy, as its public face. The subpoena seen by the block request information about trading activity and digital wallets connected with the 15 tokens. So essentially what I think is going to happen is they're going to figure out that he was paid in these tokens. Not just him, everybody on that network, they were paid in the tokens. Then you make a YouTube video, and what I'm guessing happened is they would dump the tokens on the followers, like you and me, and that's how he made his millions of dollars. This is all well known. I don't know that for a fact, but that's what I'm guessing is going to come out in this investigation. Armstrong featured all of the tokens mentioned in various videos. For instance, according to the title of a YouTube video, one of them had the best potential to rise 100x in price. The subpoena did not make any reference to Armstrong. So basically what they would, like I said, what they would do is you have a shitty token. They give you like a billion of the tokens. Then as soon as you do a YouTube video about the tokens, it does 100x, and then you basically just dump it on everybody. So that's what I'm guessing probably happened. Not looking too good. And if you look at Ben Armstrong's Twitter, August 3rd, he made a post. I have been told I need to take vacation for the next 2 weeks. Soon will be much clearer, blah, blah, blah. So he has not been posting now on Twitter ever since this. So it's not, and for Ben Armstrong, who can't keep his big fat fucking mouth shut, to be not posting on Twitter unless he's posting somewhere else. I mean, it doesn't, yeah, he hasn't done anything in 2 weeks. So he's scared shitless. It's not looking too good. And, yeah, so the end is near for him. Anything else going on, guys? Not too much. Oh, Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor was on CNBC today, and this guy is like the best freaking Bitcoin shill in the world. I love him. I stand by my prediction. He's going to be dumping all his Bitcoin when it hits $150,000. And, but he really does sell it well. Here's a little bit of his interview from CNBC.
And former President Trump got behind the idea too. So it's a good idea? You think a strategic reserve for Bitcoin is a good idea?
Well, Thomas Jefferson purchased the Louisiana Territory for $15 million in 1803 and nearly double the size of the United States. Seward paid $7 million for Alaska. It's got $1 trillion of oil underneath it. Everybody's going to be doing business in cyberspace. Bitcoin is scarce, desirable digital property. It's a great idea to trade a little bit of currency or paper for some place that billions of people are going to be in 100 years. So, yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Interesting. I mean, I feel like there's always been this ethos.
Yeah, so he does a great job pumping crypto, and maybe he's right. I don't know. I mean, it's a risk. It's a risk. Is Bitcoin going to be the major currency that everybody's using in the next 100 years? Is it going to be the internet money? I don't freaking know. I think the odds are slim. I personally think the Bitcoin blockchain is probably going to get hacked at some point, and it's all going to go to zero. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to hold any. It doesn't mean I'm not playing the crypto markets. That's what I always say with me is I play markets per cycle. Right now, I'm thinking this cycle, 2024, 2025. Am I going to be in the markets in 2026? I have no idea. We'll have to see. I'll probably buy back in the bear market, but probably not to the level as where I am right now. I do think it is a house of cards, the crypto markets, just like everything else. I think it's eventually going to collapse. I think it's a game of musical chairs, and the people that get a chair make a lot of money, and the people that don't get a chair aren't going to make a lot of money. And but we'll see. And it's definitely a risk, but there's lots of money to be made in crypto, and I'm not going to be left out. I did very well last crypto bull run, and I plan to do even better this one. And will I still be in the markets in a couple years? I have no freaking idea. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Nice recovery. Can't complain. Come on, guys. $49,000 yesterday. $57,000 right now. You couldn't have asked for a better recovery. Your altcoins are making their way back up. Is it a dead cat bounce? It really just depends on the stock market. But it looks like now the stock market, all the big investors are counting on a Fed rate cut. And I think that's going to prop the markets up. Like I've been saying on this channel for the last year, I've said, guys, we're going to have a stock market crash. We're going to go into a recession. It's going to be nasty, but I don't think it's going to happen until after the election. And if the Fed chairman works for Biden, and they have to do a rate cut now. So with that said, I still think we're getting that recession, but I don't think it's going to happen until next year, until after the bull run. And by the time we get that recession, I pray to God we time it all perfectly. Everything works out perfectly. We're completely out of the crypto markets, and then we go into recession, and then I don't give a shit what happens to crypto. I just hope it kind of holds on for the next 3 to 6 months so we can make our money. All right, guys, like and subscribe. Talk to you later.